guys, it's Michelle again. I thought I would do a video because I got a really great question from Erica Matos, I think it is. Erica, if I'm not saying your name correctly, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. And as I started this video, I realized that there was a gentleman who asked me a question, I think a while ago, and I don't think I ever did a video on his question. So honey, if you're out there, just remind me what it was, okay? And I'll do a video for that one as well. Or if you just have a general question that you think might be good for everyone to hear the answer to, let me know. Just email me at angelsouls444@gmail.com. Okay, so Erica's question has to do with Oracle decks. And she was asking me, do I only use angel decks or, you know, do I branch out? So here's the deal with that. I did a quick count between digital decks, tarot decks, oracle decks, angel cards, all the stuff that I have. I have over 50 decks, okay? So I can really speak to which ones I resonate with, which ones I stick to. Now, Doreen Virtue, I would say, is probably, she's the most well-known angel oracle card person, I think, because she just has so many decks and she has a lot of different styles, which can be really, really helpful. If you're somebody who is an oracle who, you know, you don't want a lot of words on the card, she has some that just has one word. The Indigo deck that she has, I think, is like that. Or if you want, you know, like the Archangel Michael deck, I didn't bring it over here with me, sorry, it's over there. It has whole prayers on it. So you'll see that I don't typically, I mean, every once in a while, if I feel really compelled to pull out the Michael deck, I will. But that means Michael's in here really wanting to give a message because there are so many words on the card. Or sometimes I won't read the whole thing and I'll just let it spark whatever message is coming through for me. But do I only just use Angel Oracle? No. Do I use a lot of tarot? No. I own 3 tarot decks, and the reason why I own them is because they have really beautiful art on them. And honestly, that's kind of why I have them. Tarot doesn't scare me. I just don't think that's my path. And I just don't think that it's necessary for me to dive in and study that art. And, you know, to me, tarot is, you know, it's like astrology as far as a practice. I mean, it's not something you just pick up a book and now you know it. Ancient practice, lots of ancient wisdom that you have to pick up with it, right? So, like I said, my purpose is always, I felt, to be with the angels and to be delivering messages in that way, so being an oracle. So, yeah, having said that, though, these are the 2 decks. Can you see that? I don't know if this is in camera. But the first one is Messages from Your Angels by Doreen Virtue and Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck by Doreen Virtue. So this isn't technically like bird wing angels, this is elementals, right? So those are the 2 I started with when I had my angel awakening, and when I was being guided to do oracle card readings, I picked these things up and they were powerful. I mean, and I was like most people, I was like, Magical Mermaids and Dolphins, come on. Like, how goofy is that? But then I got into it, and you got to get past that. You know, the artwork is there because it has symbolism. It's going to spark a certain emotion in you, whatever, okay? So I started to look past the shallowness and the initial judgment that someone might have towards these cards, and really started to see the value. So, yeah, where else can I begin? So I have one Diana Cooper deck. Now, she actually was the one I found first after I had my angel awakening. I found her before I found, what's her name? Doreen Virtue. I'm telling you, maybe today's not the good day for me to be doing videos. I cannot find words for nothing. Sorry. Anyway, so Diana Cooper, her publisher here is Findhorn Press. You can see this particular deck. She has other decks as well if you go to her website. But this one was just the travel size, and that's what I wanted to take with me. I don't use these for any of the readings that I do for you guys because, you know, I mean, that's the back of them. So it's just a lot. There's just a lot of words, and I don't know, it kind of jumbles me a little bit. So I use them for personal use, but I won't typically use them for a reading. Another really great angel guy is Stuart Pearce. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I love this deck, and it's weird compared to what you're probably used to. Okay, this particular one is Angels of Atlantis. There are the back of the cards, and here is what they look like. And they're just so amazing. And you can see he takes a little more of the approach of the orbs. Well, Diana Cooper is very much about orbs as well. But these just have the one word on them. And each one of these, if you look it up in the guidebook, has a chant. So Stuart Pearce is all about the sound healing. What is your soul's tone? Okay, he has a book on this too. I highly recommend it. And it's a really cool thing. And when I'm feeling really disconnected from a higher energy, and I'm using my good old standby, but I just feel like I'm the problem and I need to be tuned up a little bit, I'll whip these out and give myself a reading and look up the chant and then sit there and do the chant from whatever chakra the card corresponds to. So that's a great one as well. Another angel, I know you can't see it, but I got this whole stack of cards over here. All right. Ugh. Another great angel oracle who I love, and I got to meet her one time. I don't know that too many people know her. She's like the coolest person in life. So you got to go check her out. She's Christine Alexandria. I think she goes by Chris. And her deck is, on her whole website is Angel Chatter. And also she's a great resource for getting angel sprays. If you want to go to her website, I think she still sells them there. But she designed this deck. And let me see if I can open it. What's fun about these is they're just huge. Now I have used these cards a couple of times. Yeah, a couple of times for readings, but the only reason why I don't use them so much is, as you can see, that's hard. That's a hard thing for the viewers to see at home. You know what I mean? Because the cards are brown and the writing's not very prominent. Those are the things I have to think about when I'm doing card readings. But for personal use, or using it for a reading in person, these are absolutely amazing. They really are. And I'll just read this one. It's Archangel Raziel, and the word is unwind. Relax your mind to allow the answer to appear within your heart. So that's the feel of the words. It's very, these are well thought out. Not that the other decks aren't, but I really love the direction she comes from. And she calls the archangels the gang, okay? She's that kind of lady. She's also on Facebook, so you can check her out as well. Who do I want to talk about next? Yeah, let's look at this one. Ambika Wouters. I don't know if I'm saying her last name correctly, but this is the Angel Oracle deck. Yeah, this one, again, this one's a little complicated for me. Like, I get it, and yes, and they're beautiful cards. They really are. But, you can, and I think I've used these one time or so for a reading. But again, they're a little hard to see on video, but they're beautiful. And sometimes I really have to dig in and read the meaning I just find that I don't channel as easily through this deck, but that's just me. And that's another thing about decks, they're very personalized, okay? So you can go up to this and be like, I don't resonate with this at all. I don't like that. I can't use that deck. So really, when you're choosing a deck, find one that, first of all, the energy feels right around it, and look at the artwork, make sure it makes you happy. And then, read a few of the words and see if you like how the messages are portrayed, and if that's going to spark some sort of inspiration in you. And I didn't bring it over. You guys remember Alexandre's Angel Oracle deck? What is his Angel Remedy? I think his channel is called Angel Remedy. Again, I used his deck a few weeks ago. He has another great deck as well. And I remember I loved how they shuffled. They had good slide, as I say. What's another one I can go to next? Okay, so here's one. Margaret Ann Lembo and Victoria Rose Martin. This is Angel Gemstone Oracle cards. Again, I don't use these. I use these for personal reasons. I don't use these when I do a video because, I'll show you. There's like what are you going to be looking at? And I feel like, they're very useful. They're really great cards. And they have the gemstones on them too. But again, I try to stay away from cards for readings that I do for you that have a lot of words on them. Yeah. Okay, so there's that one. And now I'm going to get into some non-angel ones that I really love. Stephen D. Farmer, okay? I love his card decks, and the one I own is, own in the physical, is Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides Oracle card. So there's a perfect example of a non-typical angel oracle deck, and I use this at some point during the summer. Of course, you guys probably know by now I'm a total Tony Carmine Salerno fan. I mean, I love a lot of his decks. This is the Magdalene Oracle, which it really resonates with me. It has a great, powerful connection. But I also have his Gaia Oracle, and I have heard others talk about his decks, and they just absolutely love them. I have a couple of John Holland digital decks. Just me personally. This doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person if you like them. I don't resonate with them. I don't know why. They irritate me. Like the message will come up and I'm like, ugh. So if you need a little tough love, that's when I go to those decks, is when I'm like, I need to the point, clear cut, don't, tiptoe around it, just tell me what the message is. I'll go to those decks. But sometimes I find them to be a little like, ugh, I don't need to hear that right now. So, yeah, sorry. So I had a couple of other Doreen Virtue ones here. These are a good old standby, the Angel Tarot. And of course the Romance, these are decks that I have with me if I'm going to be on the road or whatever, because they're the most versatile. Everyone asks love questions, and everybody wants, oh, this thing's kind of heavy, but they have career questions, whatever, am I going to make money? All that kind of stuff can come out of there. Now, did I cover everything? There are a couple of digital decks I want to tell you about because I think they're awesome, but let me just talk about this one. I use this one for the Halloween reading, and it's the Wisdom of the House of Night Oracle cards. It is published, well, it's by PC Cast and Colette Baron Reid. I have a couple of Colette Baron Reid's digital decks, and this is by Potter, okay, at Penguin Random House. And is this deck cool? Yeah. Was it well written? Yeah, totally. But my problem, here you go. You want to talk like an oracle reader who gets picky. People at Potter, listen up. Don't make an oracle card with sharp edges on it. You know why? Because I got to have these in my hand. They're poking me. They're literally poking me. This is how paper cuts are born. Okay? Now I did this for y'all because it was very Halloween centric and I just suffered through it. It's not that bad, but I'm just saying, like, I literally don't pull this out that often simply because they have sharp edges. A silly thing, I realize. But yeah, but other than that, I think that it's a powerful deck. I think it's got beautiful artwork. That I gotta give them some credit on. This is pretty cool. Okay. Now I'm sure as soon as I get done with this video, I'm gonna forget, like, oh my gosh, how could I have forgotten that deck? It's my most favorite deck. Blah. And of course, you guys know I use Ina Segal's color deck. Now, let me tell you about we're almost done here. Let me tell you about a couple of digital decks. I don't know if you can see my 4S phone in the frame, but don't make fun of me. I feel like if you're one step behind on the iPhone, you're okay. Once you get 2 steps behind, when I finally are coming out with the 6, I'm like, oh man, now I'm gonna get made fun of because I have a 4S. All right, let me find this. These are, yeah. Let me find it. Okay, Angels. What's it called? Now these are decks by Ask Angels. Excuse me, I pulled open the wrong one. This is the Angel Feather Oracle, and again, I don't know if you can see that. This available as an app. It's about the coolest thing I've ever seen in life. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is probably not going to translate well, but you can find it. It actually has feather colors that give you, okay, so again, I don't know if you can see all that good stuff going on there. Okay, so like if you pick a card, I did like the 5 card thing, so let me just plop out a bunch of them. Come on. People are going to get bored if we do this forever. Okay, so here are the little cards, and you pop it open, and this was Sunlight Yellow Angel Feather. Happiness awaits. The angels ask that you feel happy and optimistic. There are bright days ahead for you. I mean, just the cutest messages. And I don't know why. Maybe I'm like a big kid, but I love that it's just like little colors. I'm big on colors these days. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's see what the other one is. And they have really cool names for it, like fuchsia, angel feather, and this one is new lifestyle or home. Yeah. The angels would like to inform you that it is time to commence preparations for a change in lifestyle or residence. So that's a very cool app, and it was very affordable. It was $7. By the way, let me talk about cost. I went to Barnes & Noble the other day, and it was a guy I've never heard of, but there's a new angel deck out that I've never seen before. I can't tell you what it was. Doesn't matter. It was $26.99. I have a thing about that. I don't want to pay more than $15.95 for a deck. As a matter of fact, I think there should be like a club for oracle readers, and you should be able to go to and get like a special club card, and if you're an oracle reader, you get a certain discount. But most of the time I get my decks either digitally or I get them through Amazon. It's just where I find the best deals. They come to me quickly. They're in great shape. Yeah, I cannot bring myself to spend nearly $30 when all is said and done on an oracle deck. And God bless that soul. I hope he is having wonderful success with his oracle decks, because it really was a beautiful deck. Okay, sorry. While I'm messing around with this, I'm just trying to get back to this other digital deck that I just bought, which I think you'll like. You know why this is slow? Because it's a 4S. Press the button again. It's getting old. It just acts like I'll ask it to do something. It's like, yeah, maybe I'll do it. Or maybe I won't. All right, so this is askangels.com. They have a YouTube channel. Most of you are probably aware of it. This deck, I thought, was really cool. And I don't know if there are physical versions of these. I just got these, okay? Now, what's cool about this one, there are the cards. It's got this beautiful, like, smoky looking, I don't know, angel thing. But it's beautiful. And these, let me just click on one to give you an example. New levels of light, angels, and ascended masters. But when you flip it, it has this beautiful long explanation. And then at the bottom, not this one. Okay, I picked the wrong one. Anyway, when an Archangel one comes up, it'll tell you what the Archangel is all about and what gemstone corresponds with that angel. And I just thought that was so fantastic. And I'm always looking for, okay, here's one. Archangel Ariel, connect with nature. It has the big long message. Okay, crystal for connecting with nature, red jasper. Okay, so it gives you a crystal at the bottom, and then it tells you about the card. This card depicts the positive intention you could focus on to reach the desired outcome. So it's just so much information, and it's just so wonderful. And I don't know, I really liked it. So you're probably sitting there going, all right, Michelle, I'm just getting started here. What deck do you recommend? Well, I would start out, again, it comes down to whatever you energetically connect with. Okay, so you could go on, you know, there are tons of actual like straight up oracle cards that I don't own. I mean, there's a whole library of those. But if you're looking for angel card readings, Doreen Virtue is a great place to start. Diana Cooper would be great, although I've heard people not like Diana Cooper's oracle decks as much. Reason I think being is they're not very mass markety. Okay, she's all about angels as orbs, ascension. She'll talk about unicorn energy. She'll talk about dolphin energy. She'll talk about Atlantis. Okay, so it's a slightly different feel. It depends on what you resonate with. I can't say that enough, right? But like I said, the one that I started with and didn't scare me away, Messages from Your Angels by Doreen Virtue, and Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck also by Doreen Virtue. Very, you know, easy just to jump in and get started with. Now, when you get your deck, what do? You could do a lot of different things. Doreen Virtue has she has instructions in there about how to consecrate and bless your deck. I think Chris does that in her deck as well. What I personally do, I light a white candle, typically. Let me just do that right now since I'm going to consecrate this right in front of you. Got my white light coming. You know, I ask the angels to come in And angels of love and light, please come in and cleanse, clear, and bless this deck. Please let every reading that be done with this deck bless everyone involved with the reading. Please let only messages of love and light come through these cards, and please let the messages always be absolutely accurate and for the highest good of everyone involved. Thank you, I love you, and so it is. And you can also, you know, well, you probably couldn't see, but I was touching all of the cards, which is something Doreen Virtue actually recommends that you do. But I also love to say all that I just did and spread them open and put them to my heart and just let them sort of charge up to my energy, because I'm the conduit. Now, what do you do if you, and again, people who have studied the art of tarot for many, many years, I'm sure there's a tarot approach to this as well. You can always check with them and see what they do. But I typically, well, I don't do readings in person usually because I don't want to be fettered by someone's voice or how they look or how they're, I don't want to read their persona. I want to read their pure energy. So I have this complete, well, let me just do it through email with an MP3. So people don't ever touch my decks. Even if I were to do it in person, I might let people touch the deck, but if every time someone touches your deck, I feel like you have to sort of like cleanse it and get your energy back on it. Remember, you're the interpreter of that message. So to me, it has to have your energy on it so you're connected to the deck. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people out there going, that's not true. Do whatever you're going to do. I don't care. But like, this is how I do it, okay? I make sure that it gets cleansed and cleared pretty often, especially if someone has put their energy on it. Okay, let's see, what else can I tell you? Storage. Let's talk about storage. A lot of people, oh, what's her name? Signs of Angels. She's another lady. Borga. Karen and Frank Borga, I think. Anyway, they're really awesome too. I got to meet them. And they actually have a belief that you should, and I think a lot of people do this, that you should store your cards in velvet bags. Like I said, I don't know how many physical decks I have, but boy, would that get expensive to have velvet bags for every single one of them. And I wouldn't remember what card deck was where. And also, I store these on my bookshelf by my door. There's a little white feather stuck in there. How funny. Where'd that even come from? I ain't got no birds in here, so it must be an angel sign. Anyway, I would find that very hard to then store those. So I just keep mine in the box and, like I said, on my bookshelf. So, and every once in a while, if I feel like the message is coming through, like I'm not connecting with it anymore, or it's getting muddled, you saw me probably, I just knock on it. That's a Doreen Virtue thing. And then I do the prayer again, and I ask them also to cleanse and clear my energy so that I'm a proper conduit for the messages coming through them. But other than that, I don't know whether you thought this was all very complicated or not very complicated. I think it's pretty simple. I keep it simple. And I've been very open and listening to how other people do it, but I don't subscribe to everything. I don't think that it's entirely necessary, but you do what's good for you. Okay, so hopefully that opened your eyes a little bit about any kind of thing you were wondering about. Yeah, again, I think I told you the ones that I connect with the most and what I use the most. And personally, I do rotate. And let's see, the Archangel Oracle deck and the Magdalene Oracle, those are probably the ones I've been using the most for myself. The Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck and the Unicorn deck by Doreen Virtue, they both have yes cards in them. So those are very useful if you have a yes or no kind of question, just stuff like that. So yeah, we're getting really long on this video. Hopefully you didn't think it was too boring. There it is. Email me if you have questions. And if it's something that a lot of people have been asking, I'll make a video. And again, to that gentleman who asked me a question a long time ago and I don't think I answered it, email me again. Okay? Thanks, guys. Take care.